Welcome, welcome. We're gonna continue on with our MSQ adventures. So last we left off, Conrad has died. And Lise is going to look at the cannons, because they don't know Estine broke it yet. Sorry to drag you into this, Ikaru. It may not be the decision Conrad would have made, but I'm not Conrad. I never will be. I don't know what kind of leader he was hoping for, but right now, all I can do is be myself. If you don't mind, I'd rather not wait around and have people try to talk me out of it. Let's get moving. I know a good vantage point overlooking Castro. Neon Crep's Hope. The ship's stranded on the rocks to the east of here. It shouldn't take us long to get there. Oh, but there might be some ancient golems guarding it. Or that might be an old wives' tale. Either way, it's worth the risk. Lise, Commander, I pray you proceed with all due caution. Do not hesitate to call upon us if needed. To reach the ship, we'll have to scale the cliff face. I'll get some climbing gear and meet you there, alright? Gosh. I started sneezing during the middle of that. That was, not fun to deal with. So there was something guarding it. Turns out it wasn't an old wives' tale. Sorry to keep you waiting. I see you met the golems. Looks like the old stories were true, eh? In a way, I'm glad. Right then, time to climb. Whew, that took a bit more out of me than I expected. Love how we're not tired at all from that. And here she is, Kremp's Hope. The ark that one man made to save countless others from the flood during the 6th Umbral era. It's comforting to think that there have always been people who cared this much about their fellow man, who accomplished such great feats that people couldn't help thinking they must be made up. But the proof's right here, isn't it? I don't just mean the ship, you know. I mean you. Long before anyone started calling you a hero, you're there for those in need. You did things for people when you didn't have to. Sometimes even when they didn't want you to. It can't have been easy staying true to yourself. We're all better for it, me included. I'll never be a leader like Conrad, or Hien, or my father. But I can be a friend to you all, and I can fight by your side. I can be me, and I'll just have to be enough, eh? Strange to think back on it. If we'd been standing in a different place, or if the shell had struck the tower differently, it would have been me instead of Conrad, or maybe both of us. What kind of monster murders their own? Is that smoke from Castrum Bania? Wait, it's coming from the cannon. I can't tell what happened from here, but I can tell that it won't be giving us any trouble in the immediate future. This is our chance, Hikaru. To avenge Conrad and all the others who died in that tower, friend and foe. To take Castrum Albania and bring the bastards who gave the order to fire to justice. It won't be easy after the losses we took, but I know everyone's champing at the bit to strike back. With the right plan, I'm certain we can do it. We have to tell the others. Come on. Easier down than up, eh? Though not necessarily safer. Anyway, no time to rest. We'll need to convince the others to strike now, before the Imperials have time to fix their cannon. Oh, no, those are really neat. There's no time to lose, Hikaru. General Alden needs to know what we saw. Do I get teleported there? Nope. Okay. Looks like we're teleporting there ourselves. You're returned. I only hope you bring good news. We scaled the cliffs of Nyankrep's Hope and spied smoke rising from Castrum Albania's main cannon. I think Marshal Tarpin's right. They didn't fire again because they couldn't. The cannon seemed to have been disabled somehow. Then we must attack Castrum Albania at once. It could still be a trick, but if it isn't, we may not get a better opportunity. Bluntly, General, if it is a trick, it is an utterly baffling stratagem. Had the Imperials wished to wipe us out, they could simply have kept firing. Be that as it may, we need not risk everything to seize it. I say we dispatch a small contingent to infiltrate the castrum and secure control of the weapon. If the enemy is preoccupied with repairs, we may be able to take them unawares. If, on the other hand, it is indeed a trick, our token force will prove an elusive target, and we will at least know the cannon is operational. Either way, it seems well worth the risk, but how are we to infiltrate the castrum? In anticipation of a day such as this, men and women under my command have labored long to cultivate a network of informants throughout Garabania, including Radiata. Radiata is a home to many who hold menial positions at Castrum Albania, and others nearby installations. With the aid of our allies there, I believe we can secure a route into the fortress. The resistance will handle this. They may have recruited these informants, but they'll be just as happy to work with fellow Alamegans. And at the end of the day, it's our land, our responsibility. Let's do right by Conrad. I should be glad to accompany her, General, as would Alize and Hikaru, I'm sure. Well then, if you're all in agreement, I see no reason to refuse you. We will make ready to march on Castrum Albania. Go, and may Ralgor watch over and keep you. My apologies for speaking on your behalf. It would seem my sister's forthright manner is rubbing off on me. I confess, my decision to volunteer was not wholly motivated by concern or lease, nor less Alamigo. Castrum Albania is the largest imperial facility in the peaks, you see, and so the likelihood that Krell is being held captive there is quite high. Dealing with the cannons remain our main objective, of course, but if there is even a chance that Krell might be rescued in the process, I'll never forgive myself if I did not take it. So to review, we are to travel to Radiata, where we will meet with a contact recruited by Marshal Tarupin's agents. I took the liberty of reviewing intelligence reports while Hikaru and Lise were away, so the settlement is not wholly unfamiliar to me. As the Vice Marshal indicated, the vast majority of the populace is employed as menial labor in either Specula Imperatoris or Castrum Albania. Perhaps as a result of this, the resistance has long struggled to make inroads there. Ah, you have the right of it. They got a better deal than most Alamegans, feeding off what scraps the Imperials gave them. Damned if I know how Marshal Tarupin's agents got one of them to turn his coat. I understand your disdain. I do. But I also understand their desire to look after their families by all means necessary. Our contact is a Rogadan woman. She will ask us a question after we answer with courage. She will know us as friends. Courage. Right. Put together a squadron, Nago. We'll need them soon. With me, my friends, and be ready for anything. I think this is a... what's it called quest? Yeah, it is. Hey, you're that adventurer everyone's been talking about, aren't you? Just the woman I want to see. You've a bit of spare... You've a bit of time to spare, I hope. Sure. It seemed a bloody miracle we managed to take Alighieri without spilling a drop of blood. But it was all thanks to one man. A man the Alliance would very much like to speak with. Getting him to come in for questioning, however, has proven more trouble than we thought. It's not my place to be dealing with this, to be honest with you, but I think it'd be best to resolve the matter quietly if possible. Things could get messy around here if the Alliance or the Resistance start kicking up a fuss. I'm like to draw attention if I leave my post, but you adventurers are free to move about as you please. What do you say? Can you give me a hand? You adventurers are good folk. Now I really shouldn't be saying much more out here in the open. You best go and speak with him yourself. Bot's his name. He can tell you the rest. Bout? Their names are easier to pronounce than Heavensward. But they're still a bit weird. The adventurer who slew Lord Van Baelsar. They've sent you to claim my head then. Brazen Brook sent you to help. Oh, thank heavens. You see, I'm actually a centurion of the Garlean forces. Now, before you do anything rash, let me explain. When I learned of the Allied forces' approach, I knew we had no way of repelling them, so I ordered all of my men to retreat from Alighieri. I then planned to turn myself in, but I ran into certain complications. I can see you're unconvinced. Tell you what, why not ask the villagers about me? When you hear what they have to say, I think you'll come to understand why I couldn't turn myself in. Okay. Dialani. Bowed. The place wouldn't be the same without him, and we certainly have no intentions of sending him to be butchered by the Alliance. Where'd you hear that name? I won't have anyone speaking ill of him, unless you're looking to pick a fight. You'll keep your mouth shut. What do you want with Bao? He's not in trouble, is he? We already told the Alliance scum they can't have him. There you are. Now you see the cause of my hesitation. In light of their reaction to my being arrested, the Alliance has allowed me to remain here for a time being. But for all intents and purposes, I am a war prisoner. The villagers initially meant to keep me hidden, but harboring one's enemy is a serious crime no matter whose side you're on. And I've heard what the Alliance does to those who help the Corleans. The stuff of nightmares, I tell you. My execution is assured the moment they take me into custody. But if the villagers should take arms in protest, they don't deserve such a bloody fate. Brazenbrook has made a valiant effort to assuage the people's anger, but there's only so much a man in his position can do. I know how strange this may be, but I want you to convince the people of Alagiri to allow for my surrender. Yeah, I wish you guys the best. Or I wish you the best. But, that's a you guys problem. I got my 8 there, correct? I really don't want to fight this thing. See, what did I tell you? Let's continue on to Specula Imperatoris. Somewhere down there. I didn't think there would be soldiers here. This place got like bombed, why there's still soldiers here? I guess we did retreat. But still. Of course there are still soldiers lurking about. Fortunately, there are no match for Lise. Come on, Radiata is not much further. Of course, in light of our recent encounter, it would be prudent to proceed with caution and remain vigilant for Imperial forces. You're really forcing us to fight. No, I'm not pulling out of this. Whatever. It's been too much effort for me to leave that one. I wasn't going to. Looks like it's safe to enter. I don't see any Imperials. I don't see smoke above Castrum Albania anymore. Do you think they fixed the cannons already? Surely not. Oh. Alphino said we were looking for a Rogadan woman, right? And that we should answer her question with courage. I suppose we'll have to strike up a conversation with every one of them until we find our contact. Let me know if you find her, and I'll do the same. Ain't seen you around here before. Takes a certain kind of woman to walk into a place like this uninvited. One with courage, I suppose. Courage, you say? Well, that's in short supply these days. Better keep your head down and go along to survive. Call me a coward too, if you like, cause I'll not speak on it more, at least not here. Outside Radiata, behind those barricades over yonder, on the other hand. Hey, who was that? Who I think it was? Well, that's a relief. Or a trap. Either way, I'll find Alphona and Alice and we'll meet you there. Oh, surely it's not a trap. Well, even if it is, we'll just beat them up. No big deal. Okay, fine. Ah. Answer is yes. We can collab anytime. Or like a mountain goat. I'm everything and anything. Oh, we found all the Aether cards. Okay. All the ones left are just quests now. Which I don't think I have any here. Not followed, were you? Good. That's all of you, is it? Let's get to it then. Name yourselves. We are the Signs of the Seventh Dawn, friends of Marshal Tarpin. Name Stark. Stark Woad. Wood? Woad? I don't know. The rest you know, or we wouldn't be here. This is about Specula Imperatoris and the cannon, isn't it? Just so. Can you tell us what happened? I overheard a soldier talking while working in a mess. The cerulean pipeline fueling the cannon was destroyed by an unidentified male insurgent, they said. One man single-handedly disabled the cannon. That's Pegger's belief. Nevertheless, that's what they said. It took a while, but they finally put the fires out, and the engineer's been working day and night to repair it. Wish I could tell you more, but the incident had everyone jumping at shadows and afraid to say much more. To make matters worse, the Alamegan help had been sent home indefinitely. So the cannon could already be fully operational. We need to sneak inside Castrum Albania to ensure the cannon is no longer a threat to our troops. Can you help us? Aye, that much I can do. I pieced together a map of the interior over the years, and I know for a fact that there are multiple points of entry. Impressive. If we split into several groups, that may improve our odds of reaching the fire's control center. We may be few in number, but I have faith that we can see this through. We have that for which we came. All that remains to make our preparations. Lise and her unit will make for our primary objective, the fire control center. At the same time, we will enter the castrum by way of ventilation ducts, whereupon we will proceed into the weapons research and create a diversion. If all goes to plan, our parties will subsequently converge, and together we will secure the cannon before finally notifying the Alliance that they are clear to attack. Sounds simple enough. I'll go in brief and I'll go on the details. The rest of you come with me. We'll need to deal with the Magitech patrols before you can infiltrate the castrum. I need to deal with the Aether currents. You're not from here, are you? You never seen Alamegan strike up a conversation with already a resident. But seeing as we're already talking, I have a job that's just right for an outsider like you. Talk with the girl behind that building over there and she'll give you all the details. She's a bit testy, mind you. About bloody time. Here, take the supply crates and trade it with the merchant in Alagiri for food. He's usually lurking in an alley somewhere. Shifty bastard. You'll know him when you see him. Do not tell him a Radiata native sent you. There'll be no grub for us if you do. She's extremely testy. Okay. I think I know what I'll do. I believe a dungeon is next up anyways, so we'll go and unlock the dungeon, go back into this whatchamacallit, and then queue for the dungeon. Once we're finished it, we'll be near where we start here. We'll be fine. And that way I don't need to walk 10 million years. Is a perfect plan. Kind of melee combo. What the heck? He didn't die. No, that never held. It's fine. I expect a dog to die. Oh, whoops. Almost there, friends. Your point of entry is just around the bend up ahead. The last patrol should be here any moment. Once you've dealt with them, we'll be clear to advance, assuming they kept their usual schedule. Might be prudent to stand watch for a moment after, just in case. Oh, what the heck? I thought I'd tossed this spell already. By Ralger, I knew you lot were good, but I never expected you to defeat them so swiftly. Hikaru is the finest warrior I know. I should like to think we have learned something from our time in her company. Now, where's the entrance to the docks? Right behind you. I've mapped the branches, so you should have no trouble reaching the hangars or any number of other places. Understood. Thank you again for your invaluable assistance. As discussed, Hikaru, we shall infiltrate the castrum and cause as much chaos as possible. This will draw the Imperials away from Lise and her men, thereby allowing them to safely reach the fire control center. If there's nothing else, I'll return to the resistance forces and show them their entrance. May Rhalgr guide you to victory. This is your last chance to make preparations, Hikaru. When you and yours are ready, we shall begin. Yeah, I was right. So Kashamabania is unlocked. We should be able to do it by Frost from outside the menu, I hope. So let's go back and do this Aethercurrent quest. In an alleyway. Oh. You want to trade? You'll show me the goods first, then maybe we'll deal. Gods, these are military issue Mark 63? I think? $43 sedatives. High quality stuff. Someone snatched a batch a while ago, but you wouldn't believe how quickly Imperial medicines sell. Folk are always on edge around here, you see, never knowing when the Empire might decide to launch an assault. Some get so worked up, they can scarcely see without a little alchemical encouragement. How much do you want for them? I'm a bit curious how you came by the stash, but I'll take it off your hands all the same. Food? That's it. Just food. Alright. Well, here's a sack full of assorted edibles. Nice doing business with you. Okay. Shoot. Where is the duty? Duty support. Rastrum Albania. There we go. Just had to do a bit of menuing because I couldn't remember where it was. Albania. This place has a really nice maiming, I think they're called, for Dragoon. Nice headset. Their helmet has like this winged thing on it. Looks very cool. Wait, I could stay level 100 here, or 70. How do you cut it? So Jolt is damage loss here. When does Jolt become a damage gain? I could have sworn Jolt was a damage gain in higher levels. It might be in Shadowbringers. Maybe. I don't think proc is stronger. Oh, it's actually equal to great target AoE. That is wild. Wow. Darn, I can't sprint. I can't sprint. The sprinting removes my no cast. Not quite sure why, but it does. God, the animation for Contra 6 is so long that it's almost impossible to ever do Flesh and Contra. I need to do Black Mana before I overtop. I'll be a bit upset if I couldn't kill that. It's a good thing we could. Ah, the cryopods. Kill these or enemies come off. Deck 2 of them will probably come up. Not gonna bother. I was gonna bother doing more damage on it. There's no way we're gonna break that pod. But I was gonna throw a spell, just get dual cast. Let's see, worthwhile. Water shards? I thought that'd be more useful than water shards. The heck am I gonna use of water shards? I can't. Whatever. This is my sprint. No shot. I'm too lazy to reach that far on my keyboard. That's a lot of work. Apparently this doesn't have water shards in it. Paladin earrings. Unfortunately, I'm not a tank, so I cannot use that. Nice. I love how they changed this boss, because the old boss had you read what he was going to do, and then you had to align yourself with the elements that he didn't mention. Else he would just do a constant parry. But I guess people didn't like reading his text, so they've just reworked his boss completely. I guess they got the idea from Cobb. UCOB has the same thing now.
You shall fall soon enough.
It also came from this expansion. The unending coils of Bahamut. Very first ultimate in this game. Where's my... This one a few times I shouldn't be using my procs. Not very helpful for me. The straight up damage loss. Knowing damage gains does make it faster, as you do things more efficiently. Oh, there's a lot of just trash mob in between, huh? Pre-searing. I don't need a pre-searing. Not a healer. I need a caster earring. I just realized that thing is also a Guardian, huh? Machina or Beast? Looks like it is a Guardian. Use my melee combo. Man, that's a bit awkward, but that's fine. want to know what happened if that reached that. I don't think I've ever seen this boss live this long before either. It now. I don't think I've ever seen it live that long. Interesting. It's a cards. It's got rogue gear. Doesn't help me at all. Or ninja gear, I guess. Scouting gear. Doesn't really help me much.
Understood. We're on our way. Lisa's unit should be advancing upon the fire control center in the command tower. Let us join them. Lise, thank the 12 you're all right.
And you. There's the control center. Let's hit them hard and fast. Ready?
They're here!
It was you, wasn't it? Wasn't it?
I gave the order to fire.
It was over. The Skulls had surrendered. No one else had to die. And you killed them. Your own people. Your own comrades.
You're right. I killed them. Ansfrid, Rudolph, Emlyn, all the rest. Trained and fought with every last one of them. Good soldiers to a man. I gave the order that led to their deaths. And I knew exactly what I was doing.
But why? Why would you do that?
They died so that all Alamegans could live free. That was all we ever wanted. We made a promise that we would do whatever it took, so that one day the Imperials would learn to accept us. But everything comes at a price. And if you haven't got the means to pay, then you pay with blood. Service guarantees citizenship, but citizenship guarantees naught. It's not enough to do your part, oh no. You have to run faster, fight harder, kill more and more and more, and only then will you be equal. That's just how it is out here in the provinces. You buy your freedom with blood. There is no other way.
Shut up! Shut your mouth! You don't get to talk about freedom. You killed your own. They trusted you, and you killed them. Murderer! Butcher! Traitor! Lise! Gotcha!
I know what you can do. I've already seen it.
Alize!
So, the odds are against me.
Coward! Get back here!
She made a very big hole jumping out of that thing. That's a very big hole.
Lord Xenos invites you to join him for the royal hunt, to be hosted at the palace. You may bring your horde, if you like. All are welcome.
She'll be all right, but we'll need to carry her. Will you help me? Thank you. Lise, I leave matters here in your hands.
Right.
Aha! My gambit was right. I teleport back. Well, we did it. Casham Abania belongs to us now. Now Governor Peeper took LSA to Radiata to receive treatment. Alphino tells me she'll make a full recovery. I know I should be happy. We won, and with minimal casualties, but somehow it feels empty. We should report to General Din. Kral wasn't here. But who knows, maybe one of Raban's men found something which could lead us to her. Can't hurt to ask anyway. Corporal, Commander Hext. Fine work you did there today. After Specula Imperatoris, we need a resounding victory like this. Thanks to you, Rogger's star yet burns bright. I'm glad, I really am. Did she know that Elise was injured in the fighting? Regrettable, but I'm pleased to hear she'll make a full recovery. Bardola's parting words, on the other hand, ring less favorably in my ears. If Xeno wishes to invite us to his so-called royal hunt, then this bull would fain accept. What troubles you, Lise? Oh, it's nothing really. Just that. We're almost at the end, but we still got to save Kral and do so much more. We'll find her soon enough. Pippin has his best men scouring the Castram's archive as we speak. Listen, Lise. It will take time for us to fully occupy the Castram and prepare to advance into the locks. While we wait, there is something I would like to show you. Both of you. After all, this may be the last chance we have to catch our breath before the final push. I don't see why not. Then come with me to Radiata. From there, we'll need to follow another road south. I figured it would put me somewhere here. Usually after a dungeon, it puts you near, like, somewhere near the entrance again. So it saved me trouble mounting back here, because it would have been a long trek back. So I was right with my gambit. Saved me the trouble. Did you get the food? Tell me you got the food. Well, praise the heavens, and praise you too, stranger. This will be the first proper meal we had in days. Go back and speak with my large friend, if you would. I'd wager he'd like to show us thanks as well. Surprised to see us trading in Imperial supplies. My quick-fingered friend once worked in a storeroom in Castramabania, who swiped those sedatives before she left. The settlement's full of those as used to labor for the Imperial army. The folk in Alagiri may have traded with the Empire, but even they spit on Radiatans. The army's whipped curs, they call us. That's why we need you to make the deal. If one of us dare to set foot in that town, they chase us out with a hail of stones, or worse. But now we can eat our fill, get our strength back, and try to move on. Kind-hearted heroes like you are a godsend. Weird, because isn't Alagiri also a military-owned place from the Empire? Even if it switched hands to the Alliance, there's still people that work there, or was from the Empire. So it seems very ironic to go attacking the people that work with the Empire as well. How I see it. Seems very weird to have a little caste system inside when you all serve the same people. I don't think I know this village. It's so small. Even after all these years, it's still the same. Ah, but I'm getting ahead of myself. You deserve a proper welcome. It won't be better than what I have, but I'll just hold it for this case. Corporal, Lise, I brought you both here for a reason.
I wanted to show you this house. My house.
You mean this is where you grew up?
Aye. Not much to look at, is it? Same could be said of the village. It was damn near impossible to live off the land, barren as it was. Which is why so many of us traded our plowshares for swords. Swords and uniforms, mind. We became military men. Tensions were rising between Alamigo and the Empire, and there was always a need for more soldiers to watch the border. It was only a matter of time before the first skirmishes broke out. It's a frightening thing to face Magitech armor for the first time. But after a lot of trial and error, I found ways to bring them down. After a few victories, people even said I had a knack for it. And then one day they hit us. Hard. I was wounded and sent home to recover. Back here.
We get a flashback from the Echo.
Will you remain silent for fear of the Mad King's vengeance? Of his eyes and ears in the shadows and his knives in the dark? You, who call this living dishonor our nation. It is but a slow death. Liberty or death? Liberty or death? If this be your creed, then raise up your hands, raise up your voices! Together we will tear Theodoric from the throne! Together we will reclaim our freedom!
There was Elbird.
Send you home to men, did they?
Aye, sir. Garlean's got the better of us. The chirurgeons say I'm healing well, so it won't be long now.
Liberty or death, is it? Tell me, soldier, what do you think those words mean?
We must needs be willing to die for liberty.
Spoken like a true patriot. But liberty should not be the end in of itself. Liberty is a chance to build something better. A stronger, more prosperous home for our people. It's not quick or easy work. And it is never truly finished. But if you neglect it, then sooner or later, you look up to find you've traded one tyrant for another.
Well, sir, I've never asked for much. Never wanted to live like a king, just wish it were a little bit easier is all. For me and everyone else. And I'm willing to die for that, if that's what it takes.
Dying is easy, soldier. Living is harder. Rest, mend. Regain your strength. You'll need it in the days to come. And mayhap one day we will need it too.
Conrad chose you as his successor, Lys, and I will not gainsay his decision. I have but one question to ask. Liberty or death? Those were Curtis's words and his creed. Will you swear by your father's creed before your comrades and the gods?
Liberty or death. That's all you can hope for in war. Father understood that. And you want to know if I do too. I swear to you, here and now, I will fight until the end. Be it liberty or be it death. But the freedom we win must be for every Alamegan, even ones like Fordola, though they may hate us, and the Ananta, though they may fear us. We'll fight, and we'll talk, and we'll find a way to make it work for all of us. Compared to all that, retaking our home will seem like the easy part.
A good oath. And there is naught else to say. You are indeed your father's daughter.
Liberty or death? Has it really been 20 years since he wrote these words? Even a blind man could see that Lys wasn't herself. Not that I don't understand. To be thrust into a position of authority under such circumstances, to be made responsible for the lives of so many, it isn't an easy. And when you see your friend get cut down before your eyes, it only gets harder. I'll wager she thought Alisaie was dead for a moment back there. It is one thing to risk your life for a cause, but to risk that of another is a burden no soldier is ever truly ready to shoulder. The fear, the guilt, it weighs on her, and that's good. It will make her a better commander. But first she needs to learn to carry it, not let it break her. Remember that some causes are worth fighting for. Liberty or death? Her father's words gave me strength once. Mayhap they'll do the same for her now. Right then, I think I've said enough. The two of you can head back. I mean to stay a bit longer. You're one of those adventurers, aren't you? Travel this way and that, always helping folks. Well, I believe I speak for all of us here when I say we need your help. I'm sure you've noticed, but we don't have much. The only reason we get by is a merchant who comes and sells us supplies. I say sell, but so cheap he might as well give it away. Trouble is, without so much as a word, he suddenly stopped coming. I'd go and search for him myself, but anyone who could have kept watch while I'm gone has been conscripted by those damn Imperials. Would you try asking around at Radiata if anyone's seen him? He's always talked about going there, so I figured it's a good place to start. It should be the last optional quest. Yeah. After that, the MSQ, once we leave Peaks, will give us our last 8 occurrence. And we shall be free. Cold Turf. Why would anyone sell their wares in that ghost town? A merchant traveling to Cold Turf. Wait, that's the guy in league with the Imperials, isn't he? Now that you mention it, I haven't seen him in a while. Yeah, I've heard of him. His name's Frank. Some folks say he's doing those people a favor, but I think he's up to something. Oh my gosh. They make us travel so far away. Oh, and I have to... Ah, man. You're asking about me at Cold Turf. I'd love to help, but the situation has gotten complicated, you see. The reason I was selling them so cheap is because someone else was footing the bill. Some Imperial soldiers said he grew up there. He went to the Garlands willingly, if you can believe it. They made him a watchman at one of their labor camps, and he's been funneling all his pay to me. Granted, I keep peddling my goods at Cold Turf. Afraid his friends and family would refuse his gifts after turning his back on them. He got the smart idea of sending me up there, selling whatever they need for next to nothing. Thing is, he hasn't contacted me in days. Shame too. On my next trip, I was supposed to deliver this bottle of Iraq. It's hard to come by nowadays, but he paid me good money to find it. Would you mind taking it there for me? As for this conversation, I'll leave it up to you whether or not you tell anyone. All things considered, I think he might have wanted someone to know. No. Gosh, it's such a journey. It's such a journey to go back, man. Such a long journey. This is why flying is important, and you should do your intercurrents. Because this would be a pain if you could never fly again. Very important to do your intercurrents. Did you find any sign of the merchant? He was paid to come here by an imperial turncoat. They worked at a labor camp. No, it can't be. A bottle of a rock. My son said, he said someday we'd... Never mind about the merchant. Here, it's not much, but you deserve it. Thank you for this. I understand. He's been away for a long time, and he probably wants to be alone for a while. Let's head back to Radiata. Wait, am I the only one who feels like I'm being watched? I don't know if it's Imperials or bandits, but I know there's more than one of them. Let's split up. You head northwest, and I'll head northeast. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so. Vicious you. 7 hells. She's seen us. Saw it. Dead's as good as alive to the Imperials. Did I not? Somehow messed up my melee combo. Not quite sure how that happened. I guess I messed up something in my melee combo. I think I didn't start my combo at all. I think I started with 2 rather than 1. Oops. I don't think I've done that before. They attacked you too, didn't they? I had no choice. They're Alamegan, not even conscripts by the look of it. Barely adults. In fact, some of their faces look familiar. Wait, I remember. They're from Radiata. They must have seen us when we were looking for Stark. They probably thought the Imperials would reward them if they captured or killed. Oh gods. Alizé and Alphino could be in danger too. We have to get back to Radiata and find Nago. What's all this about? You two look ready for a fight. We were ambushed by villagers outside of Radiata. I thought they might try to attack you too. Are you alright? Aye, we're fine. The twins are at Stark's. Alizé was asleep last I checked. I'm sorry, did you say you were ambushed by villagers? Not soldiers? Did they not see what we just did to Kashamabania? Goddamn fools. Lise, Hikaru, we overheard you talking. The ones that attacked you, they were young, less than 20 summers. Aye, I thought so. It's always the young ones, the ones who have only ever known the occupation. They're the ones you've got to look out for. The only decent work to be found in Radiata is for the Imperials, and everyone knows it. Children growing up knowing it. They have it pounded into their skulls that the best they can hope for is to serve an Imperial officer. Bloody fools. After everything they've seen us accomplish, they ought to be begging to fight for the resistance, not against us. They've been living in the shadow of a cash room their whole lives. A few victories won't change that. You've got some who can't wait to spit in the soldier's eye, but they get beaten for their trouble, or worse. Even so. And the ones who don't fight back, but refuse to beg, well, they just starve. Beat the dog that bites his master's hand. Ignore the dog that refuses to do his bidding, see? In the end, the ones that learn to abide are the ones that survive. Now, you may say that's all about to change, and I believe you. Many here do. But a young man or woman who grew up only knowing what he knows has got every reason to doubt. Remember that. Do what you have to, if it comes to it. But remember that. The sooner we liberate Alamigo and bring an end to the occupation, the better. Only then can we show these youth that things do not have to be this way. Only then will they know what it means to live free. We're going to build a new home for ourselves, together. A better home than they've ever known. Oh, well, that is the last 8th turn. That also means we're leaving the peaks. This next quest is going to have us going over to the locks. I've been thinking, if Alice needs more time to heal, maybe we should move her to Rogger's Reach. She can receive much better care there, after all. Our infirmary is probably the best place for her, short of sending her to Gridania. Indeed, and given what Mistress Woad has told us, I would rather she did not remain here. Then settled. Now go and see about getting us a carriage and an escort. Alphina, you should get your sister ready for the journey. Hikaru, would you mind going on ahead and telling Aurella that we're on our way? I want a bed waiting for Alice when she arrives. Thanks. Nope, off to Rogger's Reach we go. Do you require assistance? Very well. We will make ready to receive the patient at once. Give me a hand, would you? There, all crisp and freshly laundered. We're here. Is everything in order? Right, we're bringing her in. Honestly, Alphino, you need to have gone to all this trouble. What can I say? It seemed a good way to discourage you from limping off to battle when my back was turned. Listen to Aurella, please. You need your rest. I know. Any news of Krell? You'll be cross if you make her wait too long, as will I. A chilling prospect indeed. I'll find her, sister, and I'll fight twice as hard for the both of us. You're good together, when they're not at each other's throats. I miss that feeling. Hikaru, I have a favor to ask. Would you mind waiting outside for me? It won't be a moment. A giant statue of Ralger.
Sorry to have kept you waiting. Well, what do you think? I know it's a bit old-fashioned, but in a traditional sort of way, Ida wore it whenever she could. Not that I'm pretending to be her or anything. Not again. It's just... if this is the last battle we fight to free Alamigo, then she ought to be a part of it.
It suits you. To be fair, I'm more used to seeing her like that.
It's nice of you to say so. And a bit embarrassing. But mostly nice. Anyway, the real reason I asked you here was to sneak in a warm-up before the final battle. There's this place I know where monks used to spar as part of their training. Care to join me?
I don't know how they get up there. That's the palm of Ralger. Maybe we got a little carried away. But you have to admit, that was fun. Thank you, Hikaru. You're the best kind of friend. The kind that's not afraid to knock some sense into you. Now that Alizé's settled in, it's time we rejoin the fight. Though actually, maybe you and Alphino should go on ahead without me. We need to talk strategy with the officers, and that might take a while. I should have been there with you to the end. If only I hadn't been so reckless. Ah, there you are. What was it that Lise wanted of you? Ahaha, a sparring match on the Destroyer's very palm. I'd have liked to seen that. But she is right. We have lingered here long enough. I am ready to depart when you are. Take care, you two. Don't do anything I wouldn't. And you better not rise from that bed until you are given express permission to do so. Marie-Ange will be paying you a visit soon, and he is already worried enough as it is. We have a long road ahead of us. Lead the way, Hikaru. Oh gosh. Well, it's a good thing I got flying, because this is gonna be a long trip. I'm glad they gave us flying, 'cause I was not down to do this long trip again. That would be not ideal, to say the least. This giant ship kind of looks like Alexander up there. Hello, Pippin. You have returned. How fares your sister, Alphona? Her rapier wit remains undulled. For better or for worse. Have there been any developments in our absence? I'm proud to say that Castrum Albania is now wholly under our control. At present, we are taking stock of the enemy's supplies and redistributing them amongst our men. Also, while sifting through the officer's documents, we have learned that a unit of skulls under Fort Ola's command passed through the Castrum en route to the capital, with a single prisoner in her custody. Kryl, it has to be her. In all likelihood, yes. You will be glad to hear that the tunnel leading to the locks have been secured by our soldiers and is now safe for travel. And one final piece of good news. Reinforcements from all 4 Alliance nations have arrived and joined the main host, which has established a new base of operations within the locks. Commander Hex should be arriving soon, yes? When she does, we will call a meeting to discuss the final stage of Rauger's Beacon. Sorry for keeping you all waiting. An Alamegan folk dress. How very fitting. And well-fitting, I might add. I want to do something for Ida and myself. This is it. The last push. We're coming, Kryl. And the final area.
I remember my father's words, how they rang in my ears as we left Castrum Albania behind and looked out over the locks before us. Comrades brave and true, they had come from all across Eorzea to stand with us, to stand against oppression and tyranny. 20 years the Empire had ruled us, but no longer. Liberty or death. Liberty or death.
Ere we begin, I would say to you as a proud son of Alamigo that I am grateful to each and every one of you for your part in this endeavor. Now, to the heart of the matter. The enemy appears content to remain within the city walls and await the inevitable siege. Open conflict has been sporadic thus far. Whether Xenos is biding his time until reinforcements arrive, or attempting to bait us into a trap, none can say. We know better than to trust his word.
Regardless, we can ill afford to present Garlemald with a chance to ready her legions. It would be in our best interest to press for a swift resolution.
A long siege wouldn't be good for the people in the city either. If food becomes scarce, you know who'll starve first.
Just so. Therefore, I propose we commit our forces to an all-out assault. What say you? 'Twould seem we are of one mind. Then let us proceed to the how of it. The immortal flames will form the vanguard, supported by the archers and the conjurers of the Order of the Twin Adder, under the Elder Seedseer's command. Once the main host has cleared a path to the walls, we will bring forward the artillery of the Maelstrom and the Temple Knights. I would have your cannons pound the gates and punch a hole right through the middle of their defenses.
What about the resistance?
Your part will be to occupy the residential district and keep civilians out of harm's way. The people are more like to trust their own.
Of course. You can count on us.
Remember that there is a second entrance to the city proper there. If all goes to plan, we will have secured 2 points of entry. Once both objectives are complete, we press on into the city, surround the palace, and hunt down Xenos. As for the Scions, you will be held in reserve as an irregular unit until we have more intelligence on your captured comrade. Kryle's rescue will be your primary concern, but I dare say we'll find a use for you once her freedom has been secured.
Thank you, General. I pray we find her quickly.
Ralga's beacon nears its end. Soon, my friends, Alamigo will be ours once more.
The stage is set and the players are assembled. Eorzea has come at last to drive the invaders from her lands. What would grandfather say if he were here with us today? For all our other accomplishments, Kryle remains in the hands of our enemy. And I find myself wondering if I could have done more. That we know now that she was taken to the city. We have found nothing which might tell us where she is being held. You know, you could just ask me. Tancred, what have you learned? She'll spare you the particulars of my infiltration, and simply state that I have seen her with my own eyes. She's being held within the residential district south of the city proper. I tracked her to the ruins of an old temple of the Fists of Rhalgr, within which the Imperials have constructed a research facility. A research facility? What manner of research? Why, methods to imbue Garleans with the power to manipulate the Aether, in pursuits of which goals their scientists have, I'm sorry to report, performed many questionable experiments on living subjects. What? Calm down, Alphino. We've already been tasked with securing the Alamigan quarter. This just gives us a reason to do it faster. I entered and exited the facility by stowing aboard Imperial transports, but that method is not suitable for a larger force. And it goes without saying that a direct assault on rather substantial main gates would be ill-advised. I think I might know someone who can help. One of my men, he had an idea about how to get into the city. Actually, it might be best if I let him explain it himself. It's been a while. I'll not take offense if you don't remember me. Might even be glad of it. Alagana, Alright? Aye, Whisker is the name. I was raised in the peaks, but my mom grew up in the city. Or any road. I reckon we could get inside the Alamegan quarter by way of lock. So. What? How? It was a story my mom told us which made me think of it. She was always going on about what life was like when she was a girl, see? How they used to have a boil the water from the well before they could drink it, since it was full of salt. They were drawing salt water from the locks, which means that there must be an underground tunnel or something. Aye, that's it. It won't be as simple as going for a swim. The well was closed, see? Apparently, Theodoric decided one day he wanted to control the water supply and forbade water trading. So even if you come up through it, you'll find yourself on the wrong side of locked gate. At the time, my grandfather, being an enterprising sort, befriended a guard and lifted the key from his belt. He made a copy and carried on selling water until the Imperials invaded, and he ended up working at the saltery. In short, we need to find your grandfather's key, assuming he still has it. I'm certain he does. I can take you to him, but it'll be dangerous. Don't you worry about that. We're used to dangerous. Nago and Arnvold will assemble a squadron while the rest of us go and get that key. I remember this, kind of. Besides, let's not waste any more time then, shall we? My mom said Granddad kept the key with him at all times as a lucky charm. If he hadn't got it, then well. And we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Ready, Hikaru? We may have to deal with a few Imperial patrols, or worse. I'll come back to it later. The Aether Current quest. The salt tree is not far. Follow me. Been a while since we had Doncred back. I don't know why we're beating up these things. They didn't do anything. I understand killing the Imperials. Well, what do these guys do? Look at this wildlife. They're just trying to live their lives. Or just murdering them. Or whatever those things are. I remember their names. We're here, but this isn't right. Where's everyone? Words of the Alliance advances have surely reached our ears. Mayhap they sought refuge elsewhere. We should search the buildings for clues. Pots filled to the brim with salt from the locks. A barrel appears to be recently filled with fish packed in salt. Someone was hard at work less than a week ago. The lumber appears to have been laying undisturbed for some time. The crumbling masonry appears to have been laying undisturbed for some time. Arm. I always forget where I'm supposed to search for this. I have a feeling a deja vu. I remember being stuck here in the past as well. I don't quite remember where. Oh. Strange device. Magic device suddenly springs to life, flashing brightly, emitting a shrill sound. It's a trap. Wow, that thing's too far to get AoE'd. It's a bit wild. Oh, that's a big boy. Ah, this thing, it is. Now then, where were we? Ah yes, looking for a clue to his whereabouts of our erstwhile water merchant and his key. In the wake of the ambush, you find a diary belonging to a laborer. The last entry makes mention of a plan to take shelter in a Sally monastery. Sally Monastery. That's to the south. I'll lead the way. Not after that ambush, you won't. Too dangerous. Carl will follow you. Where? Alright, I said south. I guess we'll just keep going south. I need to 2 minutes something. Ow. Okay, so that's not the way. Guess we'll try to avoid fights where we're gone. Hating that aggro's on me while we're walking, whatever. Anything else, we'll try to just walk past. Monastery is just past this gate. Keep going. Why does that thing have to hurt so much? Like, it's a gunship and all, but like, that hurts. Big monkey. Something tall, dark, and imperial appears to be blocking the entrance. God damn it, I don't think there's a way around. Oh, looks like we need to fight the monkey. I think those two devices are shield generators. Big monkey. Very tanky. Alrighty. All the duty's done. This is it. This is the monastery. They have to be around here somewhere. What? What? It's me, Whiskar, your grandson. Whiskar? Or Walger, is that really you? Oh, it's good to see you alive and well, lad. But who are these other ones? The Resistance, Granddad. My comrades in arms. I'll be right back real quick. Be right back. Just a moment. My cat is crying a bit too much. Alrighty. I think my cat just wanted a bit of attention. She told you all about me thumbing my nose at the Mad King, did she? That sod's never caught me neither. It wasn't much, but it was my way of rebelling against his rule. Glad to see you've got higher aspirations. Here, make our family proud. I will, I swear. Rhalgr as my witness. I was worried when he wasn't at the Sultry, but we found him in the end. Now that we've got the key, it's time to find that underwater tunnel. We'll need to dive into the locks and look for a tunnel leading beneath the residential district. There's been no problem for Hikaru and me thanks to the Kojin's blessing, with the rest of you. I'll have you know that I can hold my breath for 10 minutes. I think it's best that I support Monago and Arnvold's units. Alright, you can't swim. I'm aware of that, thank you. But it's neither here nor there. Given that I lack both the Kojin's blessing and Dekran's preternatural lung capacity. Right, of course. I didn't mean anything by it. Nothing at all. Still choosing him that he can't swim, huh? So, Hikaru, Denkrit, and me. Let's head to the water's edge. Alphino and Whiskar can rejoin the others and wait outside the gates for us to let them in. Her 10 years younger, but I'm not. Look after my grandson. Southeast. Oh, far across on a cliff edge. Oh, maybe not. Is there a hole in the back? I didn't say. Oh ho, there was a hole. Gosh, that's a far way away. These maps got a lot bigger because they stopped doing a lot of like these smaller, I guess, little regions. Ever since Heaven's Ward, a lot of these maps got a lot bigger. Since they're pretty much reducing everything to 6 areas per expansion. So a lot of these maps are very expansive. There's a lot to cover. All these like maps look huge. They are, they're pretty big. Mm-mm. 315 north. Not sure. Let's look for this before we go back. 217 north. I think it's up here. Right up on the bridge. Let's take a guess. 118 north. Oh. I believe so. It is up on a bridge. I think I remember the Sator current. It's probably like at the edge here somewhere on a bridge. Yep. I remember this one. On. Putting you to sleep. Ow. Okay. Oh. I can't even jump off the bridge. I'll die. Oh my gosh. Everyone's angry at me. Everything's aggroed. That's no fun. This looks as good a place as any. Ere you dive into the briny deep. Orion-J, what are you doing here? Master often informed me of your plan, and thus I hastened to your side. Mistress Alizé unfolded to me the tale of her defeats. I was much intrigued by the apparent ease with which Fordola, a theretofore unexceptional warrior, defied my lady's every attempt to do her harm. After a few days of deliberation, I subsequently contrived what I believed to have been a solution to the problem of our preternatural prescience. It was in hopes of furnishing you with the fruits of my labor that I came. Wait, isn't that Moonbreeda's? Her etheric siphon formed the basis for my design. Should my hypothesis prove correct, you need but activate it in her presence. To say more would endanger the plan, or ignorance is your shield. It was Moonbreeda's time. It is not yours, my friends. May you ever walk in the light of crystal and return. We will, for you and for her. Great, I'm going in. Follow me. I do remember what he is talking about, but we'll soon know ourselves. So I won't reveal it right now. The tunnel leads east. Thancred's already gone ahead. Let's not keep him waiting. Wait, I can mount. Why am I swimming? I can mount. Oh yes, there's a storehouse, huh? Whew, that was fun. Yes, tremendous fun. Who needs a beastman's blessing anyway? I still can't believe you managed to hold your breath the entire time. Felt like we were down there for hours. Anyway, it's time. We let our friends in. Once we head up these stairs, we'll need to make our way to the main gates, which are somewhere to the west of here. Forgive me for stating the obvious, but bears repeating that until we open the gates, we three are on our own. It would be in our best interest to avoid guards and easily startled small folk. Obviously, but once our guests have arrived, we'll be free to head towards the research facility where trial is being held as loudly as we like. Since you've been here before, will you lead the way? Of course, but I will move quickly, so see that you do not fall behind. Nothing left to say then. Let's get to it. All set, Hikaru. Hey, time to go liberate the Alamegan headquarters. Follow my lead, stay close and quiet. Wait, patrol, let them pass. All clear, with me. Ingrid has like one giant dagger and the other is an actual dagger. One looks like a sword. Sentry, get to cover. I'll deal with them. And none were the wiser. Let us press on. Imperial soldier dead ahead. Here we are, one more century. Hikaru, look for a lever or winch. We will guard the rear. Oh, there's a winch. L is open, heaven sweep. Alphino, can you hear me? The gates are open. Our friends are ready and eager to engage the Imperials. Then let us leave them to it and head for the facility. Remember the reach, remember the towers. Attack. I can't believe he just cut the corner, ignoring collision. Insurgents here. Sound the alarm. Oh. If they all fight us, who's gonna sound the alarm? I think that's, you know. I thought it was 2-4. I was gonna reach him with AoEs. Oh, great. More machines. They know we're coming. Make ready, my friends. I reckon you lot would come. But I didn't think we could have the nerve to break the bloody door sound. Makes no difference to me, though. Time to die. You say they're excited to weaken Fordola and defeat her in battle.
I can read your every move.
Yeah.
Out of my way!
Hold on. Let me get rid of this. Wow, at least he's just standing there, huh? Ow.
Let's finish this!
If only you knew the power!
Uncle touche P. Final heaven, I think.
No. Not after everything. I cannot lose. I will not!
Oh, but you will! Without your tricks, you're nothing! Conrad, Mefrit, your own comrades! I should kill you here and now for what you did! But there's no place for that kind of justice here. Not in my Alamigo.
Oh, how very bloody noble of you. Why, you'll pardon me my sins, will you? After you and your freedom fighters come and tear down everything we've worked so hard to build? We were fighting for our people's freedom.
You're slaves to a tyrant! There's no freedom in that!
Now, my friend!
How do we know what opens it? I just press random buttons on the screen. Hey, maybe this will open it. Alright, by some odd miracle, it opened it.
Croyle!
Alphina? I knew you'd come.
Touching as this moment is, it will have to wait. We should rejoin the main force at once. Lise!
I'm taking her back with us, alive. She's going to answer for what she's done.
Listen to you, talking like you've already won. Xenos is gonna tear you apart. He commands a power echoing that of the Icons.
What are you talking about?
The hunt, you stupid cow. I'm talking about the hunt. He said you'd come, and here you are, his willing prey. You and your friends are dead, just like mine. And all our misery, all our sacrifice, it was all for naught!
No! You're gonna live long enough to see us win our freedom. I promise you that.
May I live 1,000 years.
Interrogations can wait. Let us be off.
What a relief to have finally found her. Though our greatest challenge yet lies ahead of us, on the eve of this final battle, I find myself overcome with joy. We could not have saved her without everyone's help. Tancred, Lise, Urianger, and of course you. But yes, there's so much and more to be done. I should be very interested to learn the meaning of Fordola's ominous words, for one. Saved once more by Urianger's ingenuity. I look forward to learning why it was so imperative that we remain ignorant of the device's precise function. They used medicines to keep me in a torpor for much of the time. I fear I'm still recovering from their effects, but I'll be fine. I will. Lise has gone to deliver Fordola into the custody of the Alliance, leaving Manago and her men to hold the residential district and stand ready. Once the Alliance have breached the main gates and commenced their assault, the resistant forces will push through the entrance here and join the fray. In that case, I will remain here. My search for Krell took me into the city proper, and my familiarity with their defenses may prove useful to the resistance. Understood. I shall instruct Arenvold and his unit to render support as well. They were tasked with securing the Aetheryte, as I recall, with me, Hikar. Southwest. Where? Oh, found him. I believe the Lux has standard amounts. Yeah, 4 and 4 again. I must have lost. I am no longer lost. I'm so used to just flying everywhere that having to be here on land, gosh, like I'm lost. God, it's Kryle. It's good to see you. I feared the worst. It wasn't your fault. You saved me, all of you. Thank you. We will be departing shortly for Porta Praetoria to rejoin the main host. Arnvold, I would have your unit remain here with Tancred, that you might support the resistance troops in the coming battle. Understood. We won't let you down. I trust you will refrain from doing anything I would not. We're both far too young to die. Right. No noble sacrifices. Got it. Hikaru, Kryle, let's be off then. I'll pick up the 8 direct quest after.
Ah, the heroes of the hour. Not content with securing the residential district, you gifted me an Imperial Commander. What are you after, a medal?
The work is its own reward, General. I must say, however, that Fordola's claims were not a little disturbing. What manner of power could Xenos have acquired that might equal an icon?
Might she speak of our missing Omega?
Very possibly. The Empire's fondness for comparable Allagan technologies is exceedingly well documented. Have we made any progress with our own investigation?
None. The search goes on in earnest, but Cid has thus far found nothing of note. Mayhap the Garleans beat us to it. If they were working desperately to repair the machine, that might explain their decision to remain within their walls.
Ah, Lys. I trust you surrendered Fordola into custody without incident. We were just discussing the pilot's claims.
About Xenos and his newfound powers. She hasn't said a word on the subject since we rescued Kryle, even when the interrogator asked nicely.
Mayhap I can offer some insight into her claims, or at least into the facility and the experiments they conducted during my time there. Though my memories of the period are somewhat muddled, there are a few things I remember with painful clarity.
Tancred told us only that Fordola had undergone some manner of treatment.
Yes. It is a place wholly dedicated to the creation of enhanced beings, whom they refer to as the Resonant. As I understand it, the process aims to imbue a test subject with the qualities of an individual with demonstrated magical aptitude. This entails the mechanical extraction and transfusion of some manner of primordial essence.
So that's how Fordola improved so fast. I knew there had to be something. She wasn't half as strong or quick to predict my attacks when we first met. If it weren't for Oriange's siphon thingy, I really don't think we'd have beaten her.
My humble scheme asked far more in the execution than it required in the conception, I do assure thee.
Where did he come from?
Oh,
That's
you've
a
got to stop doing that.
jump scare.
In calling upon Lady Alice after her defeat, I was most intrigued to learn of the apparent effortlessness with which Fordola countered her attacks. 'Twas as if she knew the blade's destination ere its journey began. A most impressive feat under any circumstances, but an almost miraculous one when considered in the context of Fordola's unfamiliarity with my lady's arts. How then could she so perfectly predict an unknown opponent's every move? After much deliberation, I surmised that Fordola may be possessed of a preternatural ability to divine meaning from the fluctuations of an individual's ether and to instinctively react. To employ a metaphor, one might say that she was attuned to the whispers of my Lady Alize's soul.
Wait, have you not just described a manifestation of the Echo?
I had no conclusive proof. The available anecdotal evidence suggested only that Fordola was uncommonly sensitive to etheric fluctuations, and 'twas this which led me to develop my stratagem. I would fashion a device with the capacity to generate a massive disruption in the surrounding ether. If, as I suspected, Fordola's senses were indeed questing for the most minor of oscillations, the shock of exposure to a more amplitudinous etheric waveform would be akin to a debilitating bout of ether sickness.
How ingenious. I note that the success of your plan hinged on your device's wielder remaining ignorant of its purpose, lest Fordola divine your intent.
Indeed so, Master Alphino. All things considered, 'twas a most fortuitous outcome.
That's putting it mildly. In any event, if Urianger is correct, that would mean these Resonant have been granted the power of the Echo via artificial means. A sobering thought, to say the least, and one which makes me wonder what else Xenos has in store.
Whatever the Viceroy's newfound powers, I know of none better equipped to face him. And face him you must, for there is now but one path forward, and it leads straight to Alamigo.
And it's not as if we came unprepared. We've got all our friends and allies fighting for the same thing. Honestly, right now, I feel like we could take on anyone and win. And I mean anyone.
Nevertheless, let's proceed with all due caution.
Well, no one's saying we shouldn't be cautious. Though maybe I was getting a bit carried away. Right, I'd best get back to the residential district. Thancred and the Resistance forces are waiting.
Oh, my eyes.
It is time we join the main host.
I believe something is inside my eyes.
Cryle, in light
Very
of your
irritated.
recent ordeal, might I suggest that you remain with the rearguard for now?
Oh, if you insist. Just this once.
I will be right back. I need to wash out my eyes. Something is in it, and I'm very irritated. I'll be right back. Alright. I feels better. Kinda. I pray proceed with the utmost caution, Hikaru. If there be truth in Fordola's words, and the Viceroy is indeed possessed of a power echoing that of the Icons, then still greater strength shall be required to bring about his defeat. If I may, General, is there aught Hikaru and I could do to assist in the final preparations? I'm glad you asked. Pippin informed me moments ago that all the forces are in position, and we're ready to commence the assault. Naught remains but to notify the Alliance commanders. If you no objections, I should be glad that you do the honors, Corporal. You're instrumental to the success of Operation Archon. You helped bring an end to the Dragon Song War. You are the hero to the people and a symbol of hope. Some might judge it as an empty gesture, or worse, a waste of your talents. But I know it would mean much to everyone here. We'll get to the update occurrence as well. Ha! You should be the one to bring me word. By the Fury, it is good to see you, my friend. You who stood with us in our direst hour will ever be an inspiration to my countrymen, and to me. Though Ishgard's debt can never be repaid, it is my hope that our deeds this day shall go some small way to redressing the balance. Dinos has never cared a whit for politics. He lives for war and war alone. Kill him or he will kill you. Several times you defended our gates. Let us return the favor by demolishing theirs. Elder Seedseer saw fit to grant me mercy at Cartoneau. Perhaps if the opportunity allows, we may offer the same to my former comrades. If not, then so be it. All is ready. Very well. Though many will fall in the coming battle, how many more shall know liberty for their sacrifice? There is time for peace and a time for war. Even the matron understands this. We who have received of hers and the elemental's blessing go now to stand for Eorzea and her children. Matron, forgive us for holding us to. It is rare these days that I am granted leave to take the field. Maybe I should have brought my mask. It's time then. Though this is not my theater of choice, we will play our part. Our cannons care not either way. That battery has sunk enough ships to fill a fleet. It is not like to be bested by a gate. They're fine gates, no doubt. They will make fine slag. Alright, let's do a bit of Aether Currents. Elves. Ah, adventurer. I need aid in saving the souls of the dead. Pray excuse me, that sounded more dramatic than I intended. My name is Betha, by the way. You have probably heard how the Empire took great pains to quash the religions of this land, for fear of the appearance of Primus. But the Imperials even went so far as to forbid the harmless ceremonies folks performed to honor their fallen. As a result, the Locks are now haunted by a host of restless shades who are denied their last rites. And sadly, brute force is the only way to banish them. I spend such spare time as I have sending these spirits on to the next world. There's only so much one woman can do. Any aid you can offer would be greatly appreciated. You'll find many an unquiet specter roaming the tombs to the northeast. Pray send them to their final rest. Corporal Akari, you're well known for your deeds as a soldier. On this day, however, I will call upon your broad experience as an adventurer. As for the situation at hand, it would seem that part of our patrol route have been claimed as territory by fearsome zoo nestling. Yet we cannot simply choose to circumvent the area, lest we risk providing an unobserved entry point for Imperial scouts. My men and I will gladly go toe-to-toe with any military opponent, but nothing in our training has prepared us combat a foe which can soar through the ravines and swoop down upon us with impunity. My comrade here almost lost his arm to such an attack, and I fear it is only a matter of time ere the creature makes a kill, unless you kill it first. The nestling surveys its domain from a narrow pillar of rocks to the northeast. Pray find this predator and end the threat to our patrols. Oh wow, that's far. Well, I guess we should do it. I believe with how much time I have left, well, more so how late it is, I believe we'll have to get to the final dungeon and a push for the end of the base expansion next time, more than likely. We'll have to do more of the housekeeping here, so the Aether Currents, the little side quest for the Aether Currents and all, which eventually had to be done anyway, so not a big deal. But I think we get as far to the next, well, obviously the final dungeon. There's always a final dungeon. So we'll get as far as the final dungeon, or at least until the quests of Stormbringer or Stormblood, which they always end the final quest of the base expansion with the expansion name, except A Realm Reborn, I guess. But Heaven's Ward and Stormblood, Shadowbringers, and Walker, all of them will have expansion name as the final for the base expansion. So I believe that is the working plan for now. Now how the heck do I get up there? Okay, there seems to be a path up. We'll be taking this path up. Oh. Okay. Looks like we just have quests left. Makes our life easier. Wow, that thing chased me all the way here. I guess the aggro range for mobs just go horizontally, and they don't really care about verticality. I'm assuming that's how it works for aggro, because I think I picked that mob up like hard, no? Well, if that's how aggro works, it makes sense. Because in reality, I didn't go far horizontally, I just went up vertically. Oh. I don't got my sprint. I'm just gonna melee pump him again. Should be dead. After the flare. Oh, never mind. Didn't crit. Darn crit chance. Haunting me again. Chance, my worst nightmare. No matter where I go, crit chance always comes back to haunt me. Very unfortunate. Your efforts will be felt, adventurer. When this land was yet under the yoke of the Empire, my own father lost his life in a fight for freedom. Although our conquerors permitted me to build him a gravestone, they would not allow me to perform his final rites as teaching of this of Rhaegar demanded. It was later that I heard how ghostly apparitions was seen floating near his grave. I should have performed the ceremony, and Empire's laws be damned. I should have had more courage, but I was so afraid to die. Ashamed at this cowardice I showed then, I began seeking out other shades and specters to put to rest. It is a seemingly unending path. I thank you for walking even a few steps on the way alongside me. The nestling is slain then. I knew I had chosen the right woman for the job. I'm grateful you came along before any lives were lost to that monstrous bird. You have our thanks. Yeah, alrighty. Get the storm in the palace. Or at least prepare for it. It is done then. Thank you, Corporal, for humoring an old bull. Maelstrom, Adder, and Ishgardian forces are in position, General. Resistant forces in Alamegan quarters are ready and await our signal. Naught left to do but the deed itself. Right then, I must go to my men. I shall be leading the first charge through the breach. Then we shall head to the front. Pippin has commanded our artillery outside the gates. It will not be hard to find. Ah, but before you go, I have a final favor to ask. Give this to my son. He will understand. Well, it doesn't even say what was in it. It says Robon's package. Let's finish up the final housekeepings. Corporal Akari, I presume. I spoke with members of the Scions, and if I may be bold to ask, is it true that you learned some Far Eastern technique for moving underwater as freely as a fish? Then it was not an exaggeration. Incredible. Would you be willing to put that ability to use for us? If so, I have an agent stationed underneath those towering steps by the lock who would dearly love to speak with you. We're getting to the final stretches of this. You're Hikaru, aren't you? The famous soldier and adventurer. It might be that I'm asking above my station, but I could use your help with a bit of a problem. I've been tasked with rounding up a couple of nasty wavekin, and I have to admit to the fact that they're too much for me to handle. For a hero like you, however, I suspect there'd be not more than a spot of light exercise before dinner. Have you seen those monstrous yabbies crawling about south of the White Isle? I have some large hemp sacks for you to use to drag them back here. Just be sure to tire them out a bit beforehand. Any fight left in them and they'll rip through the sack with those spiky tails of theirs. That's a nice touch. Farther away you are from the settlement, the more distant the screams are. I actually never noticed that. Good sound touch. No way. Why does it interrupt your melee combo? Wow, I did not think interactions would mess up your combo. But I guess it does make sense the more you think about it. I think how interactions mess up my damn mail or dual cast. Makes sense. What? What even aggroed? Huh? Ah, Corporal Akari, Lieutenant Dorothy sent you. Might be on the way. Ready to get your boots wet, are you? I should probably begin from the beginning. One of our soldiers we captured during the Battle of Cashmabania was concealing a map on his person. The map was marked with a curious symbol, but no matter how hard we cajoled or threatened, the prisoner would not tell us the symbol's significance. This naturally piqued the curiosity of our commanders. They immediately ordered a search of the marked area. Now the problem is that the area is mostly covers the water. We found nothing of interest up above. Meaning the secret, whatever it is, must be down below. We're eager indeed to enlist someone with your apparent talent for underwater exploration. I've circled a spot on your map that we'd like you to investigate. If it turns out to be something you can bring back, pray do so. Be careful down there. I did not think we went this deep into the water. Well, it's taking so long to go back to the surface that made me realize how far down we went. Anything of interest? This looks like Imperial material crates. I doubt anyone would bother sinking ordinary supply, so I say we take a look inside. Gnaw's breath. This thing's filled to the brim with gems and jewelry. What I can tell, these all seem to be Garibani in design. In fact, I'd say this collection is a damn near royal quality. The bottom of the lock is not where I choose to keep such valuables, so it's safe to assume they are acquired in a less than honest fashion. Our prisoner likely hoped to hide them down there until his stint in the army was over. Rebuilding a country is an expensive job, eh? Alamigo's royal family is no more, but we should return these to our citizens nonetheless. Thank you for braving those waters, Corporal Akari. Pray report to Lieutenant Dorothy, and I'll see that this crate is transported safely back to the headquarters. I think this will be the final bookkeeping we do, and we'll end it there for now. We'll be going to storming the palace next time. Welcome back, Corporal Akari. Was there aught to be found? A fortune in stolen jewelry, was it? That explains the prisoner's unwillingness to share. As my agent explained, we'll see to those valuables are returned to Alamigo's coffers. Thank you, Corporal Akari. This will go a long way to helping the nation recover from the ravages of war. We're able to capture those yabbies for me. Yeah. Oh, those are some lively nippers. I'd best get them in a pen before they tear their way free. It's a good thing they're ill-tempered, though. Why aside, you ask? Well, just between you and me, we're planning on using the yabbies as a secret weapon to disrupt Imperial military camps. I love to see the look on Garlean officer's face to find one of these beauties running wild in their command tent. Thank you, Hikaru. I was growing tired of sewing up the holes in those gigantic socks. Alrighty. Well, that is the end for me for now. We'll go on to ending the Reapano campaign in a different day. So thank you for watching and thank you for sticking around. Have a good rest of your day or night, wherever you are. And take care. Bye bye.